My name is Sindi Dayile. I'm working at Tigerback Emergency Care Services. I'm a paramedic. The reason I've become a paramedic is because I like to work with people. My idea was to save lives, but I never wanted exactly to be a doctor because to my eyes, doctors were studying so much stress. I ever like to be a paramedic. Immediately when the COVID started, our job changed a bit because the time was hectic, more especially during the time of lockdown. That was very hectic time for paramedics. For example, last year, I suspect there is this house that I went to, but this specific house, the husband was isolated in the house and his wife was very sick and his wife was obese, and that was the peak time of the COVID. I think that day only, we've loaded about 5 patients with COVID. Few days or a week after that, I discovered that I thought I have back pains. And then after that, I was like, yeah, I can't breathe. My husband says, yeah, I think this is COVID. He calls the ambulance. I was taken to Tigerback Hospital. And then I could see from the ward, yeah, people are dying in this ward. People are dying. They just cover them. Because normally in a ward, you cannot stay with someone who is dead. But because I'm a paramedic, I try to be strong and calm in that situation because I could see, hey, people are not making it. I remember my sister called me, say, Sindi, how do you feel now? I wanted to give up, to say the words of giving up to my sister. But I knew very well, if I say these words, I'm going to die. And then I said, yeah, I can't breathe. I told my sister that I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And then the Tigerback doctor said, no, this one is a health worker. Let's do something. Let's do something. We cannot let her die like that. The doctors, I could hear doctors are fighting about that. And I was diabetic. That's another thing. At ICU at that time, diabetic people were not allowed to go to ICU because it was straightforward. Those people, it was not easy for them to make it. Eventually, the senior of the ICU came. I remember I was pushed by him to go to ICU. They allowed me to ICU. There was a lady, she took off my ring on my left-hand side. And she asked, are you married? I said, yes. And then she took off the ring. I said, why you took off the ring? And she said, no, the reason you must take it is because and maybe you can go to theater. Anything can happen when you are here. After that, I remember nothing. On the 15th, that was going to be the second chance that they intubate me again for the second time. So even the paramedic, all of them, they give a special time and pray for me. They leave everything, put it down and pray for me. They meet together at work. So they intubate me for the second time on the 15th, and they said, I bite the pie that goes to my lungs. So that was a sign of life. That gives them inspiration to continue to help me. So Dr. Buckley calls me on the 23rd day when I was in this coma. Dayile, come back. I can. So they take all the drips. I have all the drips over by the feet, all the drips everywhere. They take off the baby. She works to me aggressively. And I know very well as a paramedic, there are times when you work with patient, you must be aggressively help the patient, quick, fast, trying to save a life by all means. Even if that soul, you can live, that as much as we cannot keep all lives, but you can do something as a paramedic, as a doctor, to keep a life alive. So I was like, hey, I wonder what I've done to this doctor, because maybe this doctor thinks I'm a rude person because I can't speak. They phoned my husband and put him on my ear that you are back. I never knew that I was in coma. And I said, you are coming from coma. I said, huh? How long have you been here? I said, it's been a long time. 23 days. You just wake up from coma. I thank God. So I'm one of the first list that received vaccine. It was just after the president and another lady. So for me, to take a vaccine was just adding something good to my body, because vaccine, it's same like other vaccines. Ne? It helps you. When someone asks, do you want a vaccine? Make sure you are first on the line. Raise your hand and say you want a vaccine. You will never be sorry for your life. Buya, siyabuya, yeah.